But anyway, so yeah, we can go ahead and jump into the top 10 series that had the best 2021. Do you want to start or me? We'll start 10, work our way up.
I mean, if we're going to do that, I mean, my number 10 is Mashal.
I respect that.
Because Mashal
had a good year.
Yeah, it had a really good year. It had two actually real decent arcs because we started with the middle of the Visionaries and ended up with discovering all the weird crap of Mashal's family. So
yeah, Mashal got to celebrate its 1 year anniversary this year as well. That was a really good chapter, chapter 52. That was a very, very good chapter. Mashal had a lot of dope fights, a lot of great reveals, and we're now in another pretty solid arc.
The only downside of it was that dumb baby chapter.
That baby chapter was hilarious.
It was dumb as hell.
No, shut the fuck up. That was funny. All right, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Weak Hero.
Okay.
Started the year on a high note with the finishing fights of Ben and Jake, and then it's led into just world building more or less throughout this year.
Yeah.
We had the break, but when it came back, just world building, really actually showing off Donald and his group.
And then that one backstory for Gerard, that was pretty solid.
Yes, Gerard's backstory was very good.
Yeah.
8, I have My Hero Academia, because I didn't realize the year started with the
end of the
aftermath of the war. Yeah.
Yep. It literally ended like when I went back and looked at the chapter. I thought the same thing. I thought the year started with like the tail end of the war.
I thought I did too.
But no, it's literally the fucking aftermath. Like literally a chapter or two after things are kind of chilled. I'm like, damn, okay. I guess
when things are coming down, because like I went back and looked at that first chapter of the year and I was like, it still hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
7, I have Tokyo. Because, I mean, Tokyo Revengers was very good this year. It was started off with the first chapter of the year was actually him talking to Mikey at the steps.
Yep.
Right after everything that happened.
Yep. And if you're a Tokyo Avengers reader, you know some chapters coming after that are pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. Then I had 6, Blue Box. Because Blue Box has just had a great opening year.
Yeah, it has. It just started this year, and it's had a phenomenal start.
Yeah, because it only started a couple months ago, and it's at chapter 35, and I mean, it's just been good overall.
Yes.
Good slice of life, good romance.
Yes.
Number 5, Sakamoto Days, because it's really come out.
Yep. It's chapter 6 started this year, and it is just fucking gone since, man.
We got Slim Moto and all of his employees and stuff like that now.
Right.
4, Elusive Samurai, which started this year.
Yep.
Which that's the one that you and Josh were like, I'm not feeling it. I'm just like, give it time.
True. Elusive Samurai has had a hell of a run.
3rd, I got Spy Family. Because at least for me personally, I thought it was a great year for Spy Family. Of just they gave us more background for each of our characters, and then we got the whole ship arc, which was great.
Ship arc was phenomenal. Spy Family was on my potential list.
2, I have Elsine, which that's just been a roller coaster throughout this year. Because finished up the academy and then went into the whole Caden being a badass and why people fear him in the world. And as I already said, my 1 was solo leveling, finishing up the year on just topping it off.
That was a perfect way to end the year, wasn't it? It's just having solo leveling finish. Solo leveling's been fucking wild for a while.
Yes, and especially with the last couple chapters with things that he chose to do, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Well, for me, you're making me want to rethink my list now because I didn't even think to put solo leveling on there. So you're making me want to rethink my list. I will say this. I'll go ahead and spoil 2 aspects about my list that I do. Number 1, I acknowledge the popularity of it, and I acknowledge the good content, but this, for me, is my personal list. Elusive Samurai is not actually on my list, but I do acknowledge that if I made like a realistic list, it would be on there. You know what I mean? Because it's had a good year. But just for me personally, no. And I don't have JJK on there either. JJK has had a good year. I went back and looked at the first chapter and what we've had since. It's had a good year, but as I've said on this show before, I'm not the biggest JJK fan. While I am a fan, I do enjoy watching it and reading it. I'm not like fucking Josh and just cock hard about it every week. It's just like, all right, that's good. That's good stuff. But I don't know where I'd put solo leveling on there. I really don't know what the fuck I would drop because that coming in at number 10, I actually have Danadan, which did start this year as well. It started earlier this year and it only came over to us like a couple months ago.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been over here long.
The art is fucking incredible. I mean, it really is, and it is top tier comedy. Like, I laugh my ass off almost every chapter. The fights that we've had are just comedic masterpieces, in my opinion. I've really enjoyed Danadan. Number 9, I have Mashal as well. I have Mashal in the top 10. I just think Mashal's had a great year, as well as number 8, I have Blue Box. I think Blue Box had a hell of a start.
Blue Box had a hell of a good start.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed Blue Box, man, for sure. Number 7, I actually have Tokyo Avengers. This would be higher on my list if it wasn't for like some of the stuff over the past like couple months, because it's just like,
I mean, Tokyo Revengers has had good stuff, but it's been very mellow compared to where the year sort of started.
Yeah, for sure. At number 6, I actually have Unordinary, because the year started with some still some chapters of John just really on the dark side, and then we finally had the confrontation that we had around like February or March, and then since then it went on a break, and now since it's come back, it's been a very entertaining story of like seeing John try to fit back into the world. So I definitely have enjoyed Unordinary's year this year. Number 5, I actually have Mission Yozakura Family.
I figured you'd have that on there.
Yeah. But dude, Mission Yozakura Family's had a fucking awesome year. The Yozakura Frontlines arc, which is the Tampopo arc, that was a great arc. Everything that we've had up till recently has been actually phenomenal as well. We've had a lot of good recently, like just one-off kind of chapters that are just very heartwarming. The art is always beautiful. It's definitely one of my favorite ones from this past year in terms of the story. Number 4 for me is My Hero Academia. I really enjoyed this No Home Academia thing that we had, whatever.
Homeless Deku.
Yeah, Homeless Deku. I actually really enjoyed that arc. I enjoyed everything about it, especially with when Class 1A came into the picture and everything. I loved all of that. That was great. I mean, obviously the Bakugo chapter was fantastic for me as a big Bakugo fan. So it's had a great year. Number 3 is Sakamoto Days for me. Sakamoto Days had a hell of a year, dude. The story is just top-notch content. It really is. Number 2, so this is a series that I just like recently really sat down and committed and caught up to and really embraced, and that's actually Fire Force.
I thought you were going to say Mage and Demon Queen.
Mage and Demon Queen has had a good return this year, but it hasn't been back long. That's the only problem. The content was very, I didn't have much to pick from, because it was on hiatus for a majority of the first part of this year. But no, Fire Force. I personally really like the content that Fire Force has had. I know some people are kind of like iffy about some things, but I mean, the year literally started where it was still in the middle of the Dragon Arthur fight, which was fucking awesome. And then we had a bunch of other great fights after that as well. I mean, Fire Force had a great year for me. At least I've really enjoyed it. And then my number 1, which is I think going to shock a lot of people, especially like Josh, I'm actually going to put One Piece at number 1. One Piece kicked off the year with Chapter 1000, and even though I'm not a diehard One Piece fan, it may be contradicting what I just said about JJK. One Piece has had honestly a very good year in terms of the story content. Even though I'm kind of like a mid-tier fan of One Piece, even I can sit here and say, okay, yes, this content is fucking awesome.
You saying that brings into perspective that a year's worth of One Piece chapters has literally takes a span within the universe of maybe 40 minutes.
That is so true. That's 100% accurate.
Because if I remember correctly, Chapter 1000 was when the Straw Hats sort of joined the fighting, right?
Chapter 1000 was when the group that was meant to fight Kaido stepped up to Kaido. Gotcha. And the final shot was like Luffy, Zoro, Law, Kid, and a couple other characters all lined up ready to throw down with Kaido.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, it's had a great year in terms of its story content. If Josh,
it's a shame that it's only been like 40 minutes within real time for that.
I know. If Josh would actually get off his lazy ass and listen to the fucking show every once in a while, he would be very shocked at me putting that at number 1. But he's a lazy bitch and hasn't listened to the show recently. Maybe I'll convince him to listen to this episode. But no, in terms of, and this may just be like our top 10, whatever, but there's a lot of other stories that's had a great year so far. I think a webtoon that I read, Sub-Zero, it came back in the middle of the summer, and it's had a phenomenal comeback.
I mean, Lore Olympus has had a good year, too.
Lore Olympus, True Beauty's had a very good year. Soul Leveling, as Zach already mentioned, Weak Heroes had a good comeback. I mean, there's a lot of series that's had a very good year in terms of their story content. Let's see. Eden Zero is one. Actually, why the fuck did I not have that?
I'm surprised. I figured you would have Eden Zero because
I need to redo my list. Eden Zero needs to be on there.
Eden Zero was started with the fight between Thomas and Elza.
I need to redo my list. Eden Zero needs to be on there. Well, just imagine Eden Zero somewhere there in the top 10. We'll do that. It's somewhere there. Yeah, Eden Zero needs to be in there. It's had a very good year. I mean, you got introduced to Ziggy's teacher, Monolith. You've had some very good fights, obviously with Nero, for example. Now we've had the recent time skip, which is, I'm all about this time skip. I really am. Yeah, Eden Zero. Just imagine it somewhere in my top 10. We'll just fit it in there magically somewhere, a 5.5 or something. I don't know. Now let's jump over to our top. I mean, originally when I pitched it to Zach, I put top 5, but I actually ended up coming up with 10. Do you have 10?
No.
Okay, we'll do whatever you want. I don't care. Well, just the top whatever of our favorite new series to come out in 2020 or new series that we checked out in 2020 for the first time. Since do you want to start again or me?
I need a different list if we're talking about 2020.
2021. Sorry. Thank you. Yes, our favorite new series that we checked out in 2021.
I mean, my list is real quick because, I mean, most of these are literally just series that I picked up this year rather than started this year.
Right.
I mean, number 5 for me is The Strongest Florist, which that's a troll of a series.
You are a big fan of that series.
It's just dumb and fun. 4 is Advanced Player from the Tutorial Tower. Number 3 is Overgeared. 2 is Tokyo Avengers because I picked up that this year once the anime started.
Yeah.
And then 1 is a series called Medical Return.
I haven't actually heard of that one. I've never heard you talk about that one, I don't think.
Well, that was sort of, I only read that one a couple months ago. Medical Return basis is guy was a surgeon and gets cancer and whatnot. And at the end of when he's dying, a god who he performed a surgery on and saved, who was in the body of a human, came to him and gave him a chance to reset his life and put his consciousness and mind back into his body right when he was starting high school. And more or less it goes through him reliving his life with his memories of a trauma surgeon, or I forget it, but he was a surgeon pretty much, of him come from high school all the way up to the years of him being a doctor and surgeon stuff and the shenanigans it allows.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't actually heard heard you talking about that one.
It's a very good drama series.
So for that to come in at number 1, that's pretty interesting. I actually just put together a top 10 because I had like a big list of options and I just couldn't fucking decide. So coming in at number 10 for me, it came in at number 10 the last is Danadan. I've really enjoyed Danadan this year. It's been, like I said, very funny. Art's great. At number 9 is actually going to be Talk Up Destiny. I really enjoyed that series. I really did. Me and Zach both are pre-registered for the mobile game.
See, I didn't even think of that because I just took animes out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Talk Up Destiny is definitely on there for me. Number 8 for me is going to actually be True Beauty, very popular, romance webtoon. I've really enjoyed it. It's a very fun read. I've enjoyed it from beginning to end. Number 7, Sub-Zero. I already mentioned that one. I picked that one up this year for the first time, and I've really liked Sub-Zero. I like.
Is that a romance too?
Yeah, it's a romance. Okay. Yeah, I got multiple romances on here. I'll just go ahead and be upfront about that. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
I always see Sub-Zero on Webtoon, but I never look at it, and I always can never tell if it's a romance or not.
Yeah, it's a romance, and it's very good. I would definitely recommend checking it out. Number 6 is Blue Box. The romance. Yeah, Blue Box, like me and Zach both already mentioned, it's already had a hell of a start for the year, and it's definitely one of my favorite ones to come out this year. Number 5 is Fire Force for me, because I went ahead and counted Fire Force as an option, because while I watched like the first 4 episodes when season 1 came out, that was literally all I watched at the time, and I didn't actually bother to watch or read anything else till this year. So I count it personally, because I just didn't even really try to watch it the first time. Number 4 is going to be Sakamoto Days. And number 3 is going to be another romance, Let's Play, webtoon. Very much enjoy that one.
Is that one in, or is it on hiatus?
It's in right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in. It's very funny. It's got a lot of cute moments in it. It's got a lot of moments in it. It's a fun webtoon. I definitely recommend people check it out. Number 2, Tokyo Avengers. As soon as the anime came out, Zach checked the manga out a lot faster than me. It was 1 episode, and Zach binge read like 10 volumes. I watched like 5 episodes, and then I was like, okay, let's read the manga now. And number 1 is 86. I feel like that's pretty obvious at this point with how much I fucking rave about 86. For the fact that a series is like good enough for me And I know this as someone listening to the show, that won't carry a lot of weight. But if someone knows me in real life, the fact that this series is good enough for me to actually stop and go out and check out a light novel, that says a lot. Because I don't check out the light novels.
He doesn't read.
I know, I don't read.
He barely surpasses with webtoons and the pictures.
I need picture books. I'm a child. I don't read, man. I just don't. I wish I did. I really do, but I don't. And even with the light novels, I listen to them. But either way, I checked out a book. That's something. I mean, I can tell you the stuff that happens in it. So, I mean, yeah, I got that going for me.
All I can remember is you telling me about that. You thought your car was dying.
Yeah, no, I thought it was my headphones. I was at work. I was just, stocking some stuff, whatever, rearranging some shit. And all of a sudden, I just started hearing ta 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 ta. I'm like, what the fuck? Is my headphones fucking up? No, it was the audio version that I was listening to. It was dumb, but I got through it, man. It was good. The first light novel was pretty much the first season, and it was unbelievable. It was phenomenal. They did such a great job taking that and turning it to the anime. And the light novel 2, that's been the second season so far, was also great. Light novel 4 is really, really good. That's one that I would really look forward to if we get there. I'm assuming we'll get there. We'll see.
The only thing bad about A6 for me is just like it has all these great moments and watching it's still amazing, but I can never feel like any of the characters are in danger because I know there's more light novels.
Yeah, see that's the one thing, man. That's the one. Like even like episode 10 of this current season, it's the same feeling. Like you see some things happen to a couple characters, and it's just like there's like literally seven more light novels. So it's just like. So I'm sorry, spoiler alert, but I mean, like everything that you saw in episode 10, everyone's fine. I mean, like Zach said, there's more light novels. Everyone's fine. Don't worry about it.
And for anyone that didn't know about the light novel, I guess sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I mean, I think they just actually released light novel volume 8. I think that just came out. I was about to say
because 7 came out back in like June, July-ish.
Yeah, I think 8 just dropped. So I mean. This is only volume 2. We got a ways to go, people. There's been actually like no actual I don't want to say that, but
okay.
Out of our main characters, I would only say one of them has had any sort of like actual change in their life at some point throughout this light novel series.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this season, but okay.
No, not this season. Throughout the light, it hasn't happened of where I stopped reading. I need to pick it back up. I was halfway through 5.
Gotcha.
And it hasn't happened yet, but I do know something happens to one of our 5 characters that kind of puts him out of commission for the moment. So.
Oh.